because it'll help me grow up big and strong. Milk's got stuff that's good for my bones and stuff that's good for my muscles. And I guess that's okay, but I'm more interested in having fun. That's what makes milk so neat. You can drink a lot of it, and it tastes cool. Milk can be a real pick-me-up. Milk, it does the body good.
Alright, shalom, this is Chanox An Ban Yasha Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. Alright, first and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Harakakadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, this topic is, name of this lesson is going to be milk does the body good, because you have a lot of times, people get into this truth, and they want to head straight for the meat, and they don't want to focus on the milk. But drinking the milk isn't such a bad thing. That's a pretty good thing, because, with milk comes strong growth. All right, but after you grow to a certain point, then you get into the meat, which sustains the body. But milk is good for the body. I know a couple instances where the elder Aharawan, the head of our camp, he like, say if he has a bunch of lesson topics on his plate, he'll come to one of us, the younger Akim, and be like, hey, can you do a lesson on this, that, and the third? It might be something dealing with the milk, but, that's what enables the body. So people that eat the meat can focus on other things. And a lot of times you'll hear Apostle Dahar, even all the elders, they get back to the basics and go over the milk breakdowns just to keep themselves sharp. So, learning to master the milk is a beautiful thing, because just think, that's that entry level, that's that sweetness that people taste when they get into the milk. Get into the truth. The first thing they taste is sweet, is that milk. All right, the milk tastes real good. Now, when you get to the meat, if you're not well seasoned in this truth, the meat can be a snare unto you, man. All right, I done seen the meat just snatch people out of the truth. It become a stumbling block on them. Why? Because they didn't focus on the milk first. All right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3. It says, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. All right? In this instance, Paul's talking about people being carnal over there in the land of Corinth. All right? But in a sense, though, it's true when you're first stepping into the truth. Nobody's gonna feed you the meat when you're first coming into this thing, because you got to crawl before you walk. All right, you got to become a new, you come a babe before you become everything else. And when a baby comes out of the womb, you don't start feeding it meat. You feed them milk. Then you move from milk to maybe, baby food, which is real soft, because it's easy to digest. And as they get older, then you give them table food. Then you give them the meat. All right. Next scripture I want to get is Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. It says, for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such have need of milk and not of strong meat. All right. So sometimes when people deal with the meat a little bit, when they get to a certain topic dealing with the meat, they have to go back to the milk because they can't understand the meat. So whatever's pertaining to that topic, you got to go back to the milk first. All right, so you can be able to digest the meat. All right. For everyone that is used milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. All right. So if you're a babe, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Because guess what? That gives you room to grow. That's one thing about it. I recently talked to a guy about being a personal trainer for me, because I want to get back into the gym. And to work out a little bit. And he said the good thing about it, when you first start back working out, you see quick results. It's when you've been working out for a while that it takes longer for you to see results. And that's the beautiful thing about it. When you're dealing with the milk, you learn so fast. And it's so sweet. And it feels so good to get the understanding. And you just want to give it to everybody. You know, you just want to pass it along. That's part of the body. You know, just because you're on the milk right now doesn't mean it doesn't have anything to do with your salvation. All right, if Yahweh Shai comes back right now, you're still on the milk. He'll, you know what I'm saying? He'll put you up to speed as long as you're sincere. That's where it falls down to. If you're sincere and really humble, you know, and believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? That's what really matters. All right, because you have brothers that were good on the milk and the meat, and turned out they were wicked, like the old head of the Atlanta camp, Yahweh Don. That man knew breakdown after breakdown after breakdown and was fluent with the scriptures, but he was wicked. He turned out to be wicked. All right? It says, but strong meat belongeth to them that are full of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised in to discern both good and evil. So it is going to become a time where you're going to convert from the milk to the meat. All right? All right, this is, and the reason is because, like, if you're out here trying to teach meat, right, to people, and you ain't got it like that, and you should be on the milk, man, you hurting that person's soul that you're trying to teach to, man. All right, so it's best to stay humble, and because this word is powerful, man. It's best to stay humble and in your place. This is Hebrews 4:12. It says, "For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing sunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." All right? So, as powerful as the word is, you got to be careful on how you use it, man. Because if you're not using it in the right instances or in the right way, you could bring damage to someone else, man. All right? All right, this is Hebrews 6:1. It says, "Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, let us go on to perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith towards Yahweh." But all right, so we're striving to perfection. All right, so we go over things over and over again. Even the ones that are on the meat, they go over the milk from time to time, over and over again, just to stay sharp. Just to stay on point. Just to make sure, yeah, I still got it. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're on the meat, there's nothing wrong with going back and forth to the milk. All right? It's Ephesians 4:12. It says, "For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of..." Slacky, should I go up? All right. All right, let me start at 10. It says, "He that is descended is the same also that ascended up for above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers." All right, he gave them a certain amount of discernment and spirituality, right, for their course in this life, for the course of the will of the Father. All right, some he gave more than others. All right, so it says, "For the perfecting." For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai." And that's what it all boils down to. For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. All right? It says, "Till we come in unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh Shai, unto a perfect man," because we're all one body. So some of us are going to be real fluent on the milk, and some of us are going to be real fluent on the meat, you know? All right, it says, "Unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai, that we may henceforth no more be children tossed to and fro and carried about every wind of doctrine, but the sleight of man and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive." All right, so you can deceive yourself jumping into the meat, thinking you're ready for it, and start teaching wrong doctrine, and you become like the individuals that Paul's talking about right here. All right, it said, "But speak truth in love." All right, speak the truth in love, may grow up into him in all things. Like, so it takes growth. So it's this growing process being in the truth. All right, which is the head, even Yahweh Shai, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh the increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. And that's what it's all about, man. It's all about edification. So If you're new, 5 years in this thing, and you see brothers coming in, all right, the head of your camp, the elder might say, hey, I want you to sit down with this brother and go over the milk with him. And after he gets through that stage, then he'll be able to come to me and I'll teach him the meat. And it just works out like that sometimes, All right, next scripture I want to get is 1 Corinthians 2 and 6. It says, so it's for the perfection of the body. It says, so howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. All right, who are the ones perfect? The ones that have the true doctrine, the ones that are perfect in faith, the men of GMS, and the ones that follow behind the same doctrine. All right, it says, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come to naught. Because anybody wise in this world is a fool in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Any scholar, any Bible seminar, any so-called scholar that went to these Bible seminaries, if they come up to the men on the streets of GMS while we're out there on the highways and byways teaching, karath, 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 karath. That's all you're going to be. They're going to be bleeding. They're going to need band-aids and stitches, man. All right? It says, but we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory. And that's just the point on that. That's the point on that. All right? All right, and our faith and our understanding is what makes us perfect. All right, the faith that we have in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and the doctrine we teach in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, let me get on. Second Timothy 2. All right, 2 Timothy 2 and 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. All right. So, as you come into this thing, you study the milk, and as you progress, you go from the milk to kind of like baby food type deal, and then eventually, if it's Lord willing, you come into the meat, and you become fully seasoned in this thing. But it's all a process. Now, so in that process, it takes time, But some people have that what we like to call microwave mentality, to where like they just want to throw it in the microwave and eat it right now. They don't want to. There's a big difference between a home cooked slow meal and a TV dinner. People want to just throw it in the microwave and get it and eat it right now. This doesn't taste the same. It's not real. So it's best to take your time and study and just get to know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. There's a lot in the milk scriptures dealing with the stories, learning about the Passover, learning the laws, learning the Hebrew, mystery of the Gentiles, mystery of Babylon. Those aren't really tough breakdowns or anything like that. Then you excel and get into things like you will increase and get into things like the statue of Nebuchadnezzar. That's takes a little bit more thought of understanding that. 7 heads and 10 horns. And this like increasing in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. As you grow in this thing, not getting puffed up because you start learning things, because knowledge puffed up, but charity edifies. Not getting puffed up because you learn things and then becoming a novice. All right. Next scripture. It's Romans chapter 12. Let's start at 1. It says, I beseech you, this Romans 12 and 1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. All right, and that takes time, because what wisdom deals with you. Slack it. All right, because as you grow in this thing, wisdom is going to deal with you in crooked ways. All right, to make sure you're worthy. It is, so it's all a process, a time of growth, maturity. So many things comes along with this process of coming from the milk to the meat. This is Sirach 4:17. It says, "For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and conform him, and show him her secrets." And that's the growing process of coming from the milk to the meat. All right, going back to Romans 12:1, it says, I'm going to start at 2 again. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed." And that's what the wisdom does, transform you. It's all a process, though, by the renewing of your minds, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. All right? It says, "For I say through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh hath dealt to every man the measure of faith." All right, so, and when you increase in this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, if you're sincere with this, you will increase in faith also. All right, but that's the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahushai giving you that increase. All right, He's not going to give you that increase unworthily, and if He does, it's for to be a snare unto you and for your own destruction. So you got to monitor yourself and make sure you're on the righteous path. All right, as you grow from the milk to the meat. Okay, so it says, all right, this is Romans 12:4. It says, "For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office," right? You have some that are more skilled than others, some that learn faster than others, some that speak better than others, some that read better than others. But it's all a part of the body, one body that's sent forth to do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? It says, "So we being," it's like this is Romans 12:5. It says, "So we being many are one body in Yahweh Shai, and everyone members one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. Our ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching." All right, so if you're out there teaching and you haven't made it to the meat yet, just focus on the milk. Teach the milk. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Teach the milk. Okay, the next scripture I want to get is Matthew 18, verse 1. All right. Matthew 18:1, it says, "At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" All right. And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." Because you have to humble yourself and become a new creature and be built up, be born again. So you have to start your thought process all over once you enter into the truth. All right, it takes a process. You can't have that microwave mentality dealing with these things, because pride will stunt your growth. But But a humble nature will give you growth and prosperity in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So you have to humble yourself as a little child, all right, and let patience have its perfect works within you. All right, it says Matthew 18:4, it says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. All right? But whosoever offend one of these little ones which believe in me, the little ones represent the elect, all right, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. And let's think about it. You can use that as dealing with the topic that I'm talking about. So if you on the meat and you see a brother on the milk, and you try to you know what I'm saying, degrade that brother because he's on the milk, you know what I'm saying, the Most High is gonna judge you for that, because you can ruin somebody's faith on that, man. If you know, you can ruin somebody's faith by degrading them, you know what I'm saying, because they're on the milk. You know? And you don't want to be the one to do that, because, you know what I'm saying, you'll have Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to answer to. Alright? Matthew 11, 25. Alright, this is Matthew 11:25. It says, at that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. All right, and the elect are the babes. And guess what? We all started with the milk. All right, that's awesome to use the reference as babes, because we all become born again and become children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua from the point of us coming into the truth, and it was destined from the beginning. All right, and I'm going to close it out with one more scripture. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7. It says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither is he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase. All right? Now, so the point is, you could try to jump to the next level and eat the meat if you want to, but if any man will increase in knowledge, it has to come from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So you can think to your mind that you're increasing in this faith and increasing in the understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but it is Him that gives the increase. Shalakah. With that being said, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahushua, Ba Hashem Harikar Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that pushing this truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahushua.